What is up, guys? Rikakis here, and the huge Rise of Iron Gamescom reveal stream has just come to an end. Now, a ton of information about the Rise of Iron was revealed during this stream, and later today, I am planning on making a video analyzing everything. But in the meantime, one of the things I love to do when we get one of these streams, a gameplay reveal or something of the like, is I love to comb over the footage and analyze the new weapons and armor being added with this new content. And that's because I love the weapons and armor in Destiny. I'm a huge collector and it really interests me. So I'm bringing that to you guys today. I've combed over the footage and we're going to analyze some of the new armor sets, some of the new weapons, and even some new exotics being added with the Rise of Iron. Now, instead of getting really zoomed in grainy screenshots of every single new weapon and armor piece seen in this new gameplay, we're just going to narrow our search to the heavy hitters: Iron Banner weapons and armor, Trials of Osiris weapons and armor, exotics, and the like. Now first, let's start off with the big three armor sets and accompanying weapons. The first screenshot you're seeing is of the new Iron Banner armor. Now interestingly enough, the weapons being held are not the Iron Banner weapons. We see a random Omelon scout rifle on the right, the exotic Kvostov being held by the Titan in the middle, and actually the Trials of Osiris pulse rifle on the far left. Now interestingly enough, there's another screenshot of the same Iron Banner armor sets, this time actually with accompanying weapons. The Titan is holding what looks like the Iron Banner auto rifle, even though that's not supposed to be the Iron Banner auto rifle. This is supposed to be the Iron Banner auto rifle, and you've seen that kind of before, so this might be the pulse rifle or the scout rifle perhaps. The Hunter is holding the Iron Banner hand cannon, although you can't really see it, and I'm not exactly sure what the Warlock is holding. Perhaps the auto rifle, it kind of looks similar, perhaps a pulse rifle, I'm not exactly sure. But we can already see two different shaders being used on this Iron Banner set. Next, we have the Trials of Osiris armor sets with accompanying Trials of Osiris weapons. On the right, we have the Hunter with the Trials of Osiris scout rifle. You actually get another look at it here. And then on the left, both the Titan and the Warlock have the Trials of Osiris new pulse rifles. To be honest, I think the Trials of Osiris weapons look absolutely amazing. The armor looks cool, but because the armor is so cool in general, in this expansion, this is one of the lamer armor sets revealed, which is crazy to say because this does look pretty damn cool. Moving on, we actually get to see the new Wrath of the Machine raid armor for the Rise of Iron. This looks absolutely amazing, and if all is to be believed, and if these screenshots are consistent, this is actually also showing off some of the new raid weapons. You can see the raid weapons are very blacked out, but they do have some red additions. The auto rifle, for example, actually has the Siva symbol stamped on it, so that is definitely interesting. Now, some of you may be thinking that some of that armor doesn't actually look that cool. Well, that is before ornaments are added. Ornaments are a new thing being introduced to certain armor pieces and weapons with the Rise of Iron that completely change the look of the weapon or armor piece. For example, we have here the Scarab's Vigil Helm, the new Trials of Osiris helmet for the Titan, and this is before an ornament is added and after. So it adds this new purple glow, completely changing the look of this armor piece. And this is the perfect time to transition into weapons because ornaments also drastically change the appearance of weapons. You can see here the Monte Carlo before an ornament is added and after. Now you have a red and black Monte Carlo. And here you can see the two different ornamental choices for the Hawk Moon coming with the Rise of Iron. Now these ornamental choices, at least on the exotics, are supposed to be unlocked through Radiant Treasures, which are the new microtransaction items essentially replacing Sterling Treasures currently in the game. You can earn them from in-game activities, however they aren't purely purchasable. Now, speaking of exotics, an entirely new Rise of Iron exotic was also revealed today, the Nemesis Star exotic machine gun. Now, unfortunately, there wasn't a look at its actual perk, so we don't know what it does, but we can at least get a first look at it. This thing looks amazing. If you're wondering what all the ends are for, it is from the Nadir Weapons Foundry, so that is definitely interesting. This is our first real look at weapons made in this foundry. Unfortunately, Bungie has said that they they're not really expanding entirely on a new foundry, so don't expect the Nadir foundry to be a properly added foundry with the Rise of Iron. At least that's the information that we have so far. I hope I'm wrong on that. Moving on, we get a look at an absolutely insane looking weapon that actually turns out to be a pulse rifle, to which you can see in first person here. This really looks like the Raid pulse rifle. It has the same kind of red and black Warmind design that is kind of similar to what we saw in the screenshot showing off the Raid armor. And in fact, I actually went to this big, topic talking about perhaps this is actually what the Raid weapons look like, and perhaps the Raid weapons in the screenshot aren't actually the Raid weapons. However, I'm actually re-recording this because I realized this is actually an exotic. This is our first look at an exotic pulse rifle. Now, I know this because I actually did a video a while back talking about some of the new exotics being added into Destiny with the Rise of Iron. Now, this is because Game Informer briefly mentioned their experience with some of the exotics in the game, and they actually mentioned a Siva looking pulse rifle, which looks exactly like this, that actually, when you shoot an enemy in the head, it spreads out a cloud that seeks enemies nearby and damages them, which, as you can see from the screenshot, is exactly what is happening. You have what looks exactly like a hunter-seeker grenade swarming out of the enemy after he gets a headshot and hitting the next enemy nearby. So this is our first look at that new Siva-inspired exotic pulse rifle. So luckily, as I was editing that, I kind of caught myself from making a massive error, but again, this is our first look at a new exotic. This is not the Raid pulse rifle. Now moving on, something else that was revealed impacting weapons that was very interesting is that Bungie said that they're really going out and exploring the sidearm category further. They said they're really going insane with the sidearm designs, and that looks to be true. We've got a couple of screenshots here, especially this one from Game Informer, showing off some absolutely insane looking sidearms. And in fact, this screenshot here shows a sidearm that was shown to be shooting in 3-round burst. So perhaps we're going to get entirely new, legendary, rare, and so on sidearms finally added into the game that have different firing mechanisms. Perhaps the sidearms from Omelon fire in 3-round bursts, the ones from Hawkeye are single fire, and then the ones from Suros are fully automatic. I'm not exactly sure. That would be my dream scenario, but again, one at least was confirmed to be firing in a 3-round burst, and it's not the Drake's promise, so that is definitely a good thing. Continuing with our weapon spotting, the new Iron Banner sniper rifle was seen here. This thing has a massive bayonet, oh my goodness. And the last thing we're taking a look at here is this screenshot showing off a bunch of new goodies. They are just the icons, but we can see a new fusion rifle, a new launcher, new ghost, and again, all of that new awesome looking armor that was revealed yesterday. Now, there was a lot of confusion about what exactly this awesome looking armor set was. Was it Iron Banner? Was it something else entirely? Was it the award through the Radiant Treasures? Again, the microtransactions. However, if you look from this screenshot, it could actually just be the ornament for the Iron Banner stuff, because that helmet looks exactly like the Iron Banner helmet, and it has horns and stuff, but then the actual Guardian does not have horns. Perhaps like changing the ornament just completely changes the style of the armor, and that's maybe what we have going on here. Remember also that it is still a dev build, it's still being created, so there could just be a random placeholder icon that we don't actually know the actual icon yet, so there's still some confusion here, but again, showing off some new goodies. We can actually also see that this guy's Monte Carlo has a different ornament as well. Now that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this look at some of the new weapons and armor sets coming with the Rise of Iron. I do want to mention that actually last week I was invited out to LA to go to a special Titanfall 2 event, and I just uploaded 30 minutes straight of Titanfall 2 multiplayer gameplay. So if you guys want to check that out, learn more about the game, that'll be linked in the description down below and on screen right now. Now again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you want to see more Destiny content coming in the future, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best ways to follow me on Twitter at RickHackus, that's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day. Now, the Cryptarch is just such a huge part of Destiny. He is so associated with the game, both in the positive, like when he gave you your first exotic out of a legendary engram, and the negative, like when he gave you blues out of your other 100 legendary engrams. But either way, he is just so strongly a part of Destiny, and that's why it's kind of sad to see him so heavily fallen from grace, become so essentially useless within the current state of the game.